Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gem Drafter. I'm your host, Newts, and I'm here with my usual co-host, Payson Burnett, and we actually have a guest on the show today. Well, I mean, I guess a
A
guest, but
premium guest
a
too.
premium guest, a great
Premium.
friend.
Yeah.
His name's Jake, aka Super Packers. What's going on, guys?
Good morning.
Nice to have somebody else here. Finally, 2v1. We can find.
Hey, I listened to back to that when I kicked myself out of the stream. You were about to talk some mad smack. I don't know if
It
you
sounded like he was just going to apologize for like 10 minutes.
Oh. All right.
I was
Now that
definitely
I'm
going
already
to. I just needed like another minute, and I was gonna lay into you.
now that I'm already upset of staring directly at my coffee teeth. You guys want to talk some
I'm sure
football?
there's a way we could edit that and shade it to like perfectly white.
Yeah. So let's talk some football here. Deebo Samuel, a lot of trade rumors swirling around him. Initially it was kind of back and forth, like it was rumored that he wanted to trade, and then the 49ers came out and said there's no way they're trading him, which is understandable. I mean, who would want to trade your star wide receiver? And then now the reports are, I guess I didn't watch the Pat McAfee show, but Ian Rappaport was on there saying that Deebo essentially told them not even to make an offer and that he's done with them.
Wow, it's aggressive.
And that's why I'm getting all the low ball offers for Debo. Okay, I got it.
I know. I was out hunting for Deebo Samuel.
I gave you one share in quotes share.
I picked him up how many years ago? A couple years ago when everyone was kind of off of him, and he was just slipping to the middle rounds. So I was lucky. I got a lot of cheap Debo, and I'm definitely not gonna. I'm not in a rush to sell high or low. I'm just going to hold him. So I still believe in the talent, and I think that wherever he ends up, he's going to be good regardless. So.
Yeah, I think it's hard to really think about Deebo as a wide receiver because he's kind of the wide receiver running back hybrid. So is that like a 1,510? Like that's kind of what he is, but it doesn't come like 1,500 receiving yards and 10 receiving touchdowns. So I don't know the consistency of that year over year. Part of why I got a little nervous, and I have actually shifted off of Deebo, so we can talk about this trade.
Are so weird too.
Now or later.
Concerned about his usage. It's like a lot of NFL players are just trying to compete to keep their jobs. So in theory, they should be willing to do special teams or whatever they need to do, whatever position to keep a roster spot. But it's just kind of odd to hear a football player complaining that he's being used too much. You know, obviously it's for compensation or money reasons, but it's just you don't hear that often. So it's just kind of abnormal.
Yeah, I wonder if he just wants to get back to being a wide receiver. He doesn't want to take the hits like a running back.
For context of his actual production for fantasy in a full PPR league last year, he put up 21 points per game on average, which was almost a full 5 points behind what Cooper Kupp did. So Deebo was the wide receiver 3. Obviously, Cooper Kupp was the wide receiver 1. And on the year in full PPR leagues, Deebo scored 338 points and Kupp scored 439, 100 more points across the season. That's pretty crazy to think about. And Kupp's not creating all the drama. And obviously, he deserves a contract extension. But like Jake said, I'm a huge Deebo fan. You were probably scooping him in the 5, 6, 7 round range of startups, and now he's like firmly in the 3rd, if not late 2nd round of startups. So I'm going to jump down quick because Payson and I did a trade for Deebo Samuel. I don't know if you saw that.
What league was that?
Down on page, the page
75 with the show doc.
So this is a 12-team league. It's actually called Big Balls Devy League. It's a Devy league. Gosh, look, my one eye looks weird. Anyway, it's it's called Big Balls Devy League. It's a 12-team super flex start 2 tight end, and it's 12 starters. So there's 3 flex spots. And I gave up the Justin Fields, CeeDee Lamb side for Carson Wentz, Deebo Samuel, and Jalen Waddle.
So who are your other quarterbacks?
Here, actually, I will do this for you guys real quick.
Because Carson Wentz, I've never been a big fan of his, but now that he's so cheap and inexpensive, like I don't mind taking a shot. I just don't want to have, like, out of 15 leagues, I don't want to have 11 shares. You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay having a couple, but I've never been on the Wentz train, I suppose.
I think I've gotten to 4 now. I was at like 80%.
Yeah, that's good to move off of them a little bit in places. So
I have Tua, Wentz, and Goff.
What's the chances though Fields doesn't work out? Like there is a chance that happens.
0.
I think
it's 0. I just traded for him. Not going to happen. He's perfect.
I don't know what to think about some of the quarterbacks from last year. Will Trey Lance work out? Will Fields work out? There's a slim chance that they don't, and so there's risk there. But Waddle and Deebo are very, very good. So is CeeDee Lamb. So it's hard for me to evaluate that trade just because I'm not sure about the QBs on either side.
Oh, did you hear? I just said I have pretty much just Tua, Wentz, and Goff.
No.
But
no.
But now my wide receivers are Deebo, Waddle, Judy, Claypool, and then I have Chubb, Barkley, David Montgomery, and a slew of like rookies at running back, almost like quarterback.
Do you have a bunch of draft picks too, or no?
No, it's Devy depleted. I just have my regular 23 picks minus my 23 second. But I have for my tight ends, I have Kyle Pitts, and then a cluster of guys that might do something like Njoku, OJ Howard, Jonnu Smith. It's not my favorite team, but
anytime you have a dynasty team, you almost have to pick on which position you want to be weak at. Just struggle with it. It sounds like you're strong everywhere else, so you're going to be able to figure out quarterback in the future if you need to, and the guys you have, you'll be able to play. So I think it's a pretty good trade. Deebo and Waddle are excellent.
I definitely think the value is probably on your side, Payson, but I like the having depth at wide receiver.
Yeah, and really, I hate that team. So I just wanted to do something different. So that's the team that I've talked about several times as the team that I hate, where I drafted Baker Mayfield before the Watson news. And I was so excited about the Watson news that I did. I got Amari Cooper. Actually, no, I got Amari Cooper because I was trying to pair him with Baker. But whatever, it's okay. We'll figure it out at some point, but maybe not this year.
I'll share quickly your team here. Let me just how do I okay. I just gotta click that real quick. So I don't know if you have the StreamYard up, Jake, but this is Payson's team. So he has like cornerstones now of Herbert, and if Fields works out at quarterback, and then he has his wide receiver 1 locked down as Lamb, running back 1 is Swift, who I know you're a fan of.
Is Dobbins going to be Melvin Gordon's backup though?
We don't talk about that on this podcast.
Yeah, there's a couple things we can't talk about anymore. Okay. One of them's Baker. Well, I can talk about Baker in a positive light. The other one is Dobbins.
How many years have we been chasing Ravens running backs? When's like the last good solid? I don't even remember. It's
Ray Rice, probably.
Ray Rice, yeah.
I think that your wide receivers are a little bit out of order here with like Cooper.
Yeah, my OCD can't take that. You got to switch.
No, the Lazard King. What do you mean? What's wrong with the order?
Lazard King can hold up the rear. He's fine.
Christian Watson should probably be in that wide receiver 3 slot.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. That's okay.
Gronkowski's going to retire, so you can bench that guy.
Yeah, that was like right around the same time that I picked Baker that I took Gronk. Damn it.
I think he'll play. What do you guys think, Gronkowski?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think so too, but I continue to get more nervous by the week that he has not signed or agreed to play. I guess he's already signed. I don't even know.
Anyway, we got on a little bit of a trade tangent there. Obviously, I won the trade. No, I'm just kidding. Deebo Samuel talk still. As far as like landing spots for a trade, would you guys be upset if he went to the Jets, or are you feeling that?
I wouldn't like it, but
I would like it for my Zach Wilson share that I got from you last week.
I don't mind
continuing
another receiver going there. Like Elijah Moore is very talented, and Corey Davis is a good extra guy to have, but they probably do need another wide receiver, and there's most likely going to be one drafted there. I would prefer it if it was a rookie and not Deebo for my Elijah Moore shares. So,
well, the question
it's kind of selfish, but
the question becomes, if Deebo goes to the Jets, like, can Zach Wilson support 2 wide receivers, a running back catching the ball? Because they're almost surely going to draft a running back. They're not going to just rely on Michael Carter. And like, if Deebo, it looks like your eyebrows raised a little bit there for some Michael Carter love.
I don't know. I'm on the fence with that. Hopefully they draft like a 5th round rookie and give Michael Carter a good backup to work with them. That's what I'm
like a Samir White. That's like a 5th round rookie, right?
Yeah, let's do that.
I think you meant Saquandre. Well, I really hope that he goes to the Packers. I think that would be awesome. Obviously, Supa is a Packers fan as well. So I actually wouldn't be mad at Detroit either. Like, people rag on Goff so hard. Like, I don't think Goff's the greatest quarterback in the world, but I think Deebo and Chark would complement each other really well.
Real quick tangent there, Newts. What? Give me your 60-second Sammy Watkins reaction.
That's good. I covered it.
Here.
Were you ever a Sammy Watkins truther back in the day?
Back in the day, a little bit. Okay. And then when he had that week 1 with the Chiefs where he scored like 40 points, I was like, oh. And then obviously when he didn't show up the rest of the season, I was like, all right, it's time to be done with this nonsense.
Yeah.
But you can't deny that when he was a rookie on the Bills, he flashed hard, man. Like, I think he had a 1,100-yard season as a rookie, or at least 900. So he looked really good, but just never stayed healthy, never was consistent. Unfortunately,
so Lazard King is going to outscore him.
Oh yeah,
right?
Definitely. Yeah, I would say at this point it's pretty safe to say that Sammy Watkins does not have the work ethic, or just straight up his body doesn't have good good health.
But what does that say about the Packers, like, choosing to pay him to catch a couple balls?
I mean, they're basically paying him like $14 an hour, like when you compare the type of work, like the actual wage scale of like the NFL, like where Mahomes and Rodgers are making 50 million, like he's making 4 million. That's like, comparing me to somebody that like works at Starbucks, it's like,
it's just anything with any wide receiver with a heartbeat, I'll take them on the Packers, like, and I'll be okay with it. It's just, please get somebody, please.
But it's not just get somebody, because when we just have somebody, we suck and we lose in the NFC Championship game. We need some studs.
Yeah, but is it for what? I don't know. What do you think for the draft? What, first round, second round? Where do you think they're going to take a first round receiver? Or?
I can't say with certainty, but I would like to see that.
Ultimate cop out.
I would have liked to see that the last 5 or 6 years, but I don't. Hopefully it happens. I'm not going to hold my breath though.
Did you see? Go ahead, Payson.
Well, Alan Lazard is going to go to the moon, circle the moon, come back, go back up to the moon again. He's going to have like 150, 180 targets. I'm just really excited about this year. And Newts is going to have to regret trading me for what was it, the 214 for Lazard? Yeah, crushed him.
Tebow would be nice, but there's a guy in New York, the Giants, that would be even nicer, I think, in my opinion, for the Packers.
Oh, a little Kadarius Toney.
Yeah.
Perfect segue.
Smooth transition.
So that's the next thing we're going to talk about is Kadarius Toney was basically put on the block by the Giants, which is never a good sign. He didn't show up for the voluntary workouts or whatever it was when everyone else is kind of there with the new coaching staff. So not a good look. I don't know what they're looking to really get for him. I mean, he flashed that one game where he had a high volume of receptions and I think 170 yards. Obviously, he can run with the ball in his hands, but
after those 2 blow-up games, people were losing their minds, sending away first-round picks for him. It was hilarious.
See, and
I held though.
Payson is on the other side of the fence here because we've talked about him on the podcast before, and he was leaning bust, and this is probably some nice gratification for you.
Yeah, I think that it's over. It was over before it started. We're going the route of Dorial Green Beckham, a little blast from the past. Somebody a little off their rocker, physical freak, but never going to put it together as a wide receiver in the NFL.
Well, I mean, Henry Ruggs and John Ross, after those couple guys, just that archetype of I've always just avoided. But when Kadarius Toney fell into the mid or late second or whatever it was in the league, I was just like, whatever, I'll take him. First round wide receiver. We'll see what happens. But Payson's probably right. I'm not going to hold my breath on that one, but it could happen. You never know.
I think the big question is really, does he actually get traded and what for? Because a first is not going to happen. They overpaid for him last year. And what did everybody else have him at? I think the Giants draft off their own draft board. That's very different than everybody else's, kind of like the Raiders used to do. So what's he, 3rd round, 5th round pick a year after being a 1st round pick?
Probably somewhere around there. Yeah. I think his play style is more like a Deebo Samuel, to call back to that, than like a straight up deep threat wide receiver. He is a pretty physical guy. I don't know his exact I'd have to look up his exact measurements as far as his weight. I think I could pull it up pretty quick. Actually I can't, because for some reason I don't have him in those rankings right there. But I think
5'11", 189.
Oh, so not so much, but he just played like that in college. So I'm a void. I'm full of void. I don't have any, so I'm just a void on Toney right as of right now. I think people are gonna want.
Yeah, but is this a buy low window? Or people? He's already not worth a whole lot. So maybe somebody's scared and you can get him for ridiculously cheap and take a shot.
That's the only way I would. Throw in.
Well, you said he was a 2nd round pick last year, so maybe a couple 3rds or a throw in or something along those lines. It's could do worse, I suppose, for taking a shot.
Let me ask you this: what would you pay for Jalen Reagor right now? Because that's the route he's
nothing.
going.
I would pay you to take him from me.
So
I have a share in trading camp. Is it?
That's my fear.
Speaking of, I've got this wonderful asset.
Yeah. Would people raise their eyebrows if I just send them to you for free? They'd be like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I would probably decline. Too many. If he does do something, too many points on my team. I'm trying to lose. My cat just knocked over the hamper. So yeah, I guess the consensus is we're hold / avoid / go really, really cheap on Kadarius Toney. I hope the best for the guy. I hope he figures it out, but Obviously, it's not going to be on the Giants, and there's a bad track record of wide receivers switching teams and being successful unless they're like already.
And he was forced to go to the Giants, so I feel bad for the guy just for having to play for the Giants.
Giants, they need O-line help. It's plain and simple. They need more protection for these guys that, like, I know Jones is somewhat mobile, but
now it can be Kenny Golladay breakout season, right?
Hopefully. I mean, I got him super cheap in that startup where we were talking about the trade that Payson and I made for Debo, Waddle, and Wentz and Fields and Lamb. I got Kenny Golladay in the 20th round of that startup.
I have so many shares of Sterling Shepard.
Sterling
Shepard that when he's not
Sterling Sharp, was that a Packer?
Yeah, possibly. But
Shannon Sharp's brother.
Whenever he's not injured, if you look at his box score over the last couple of years, he won, two out of 3 times he plays, he puts up numbers. So I still have hope for him.
Yeah, he's one of those left for dead guys that's probably on dynasty waiver wires that you could scoop up.
Right.
All right. Do you guys want to move on to the next topic? Or do you have anything?
I got one. Kadarius Toney. I want to see what his hand size is. Okay, I think it was like 9 inches and 9 1/4 inch hands. So he's going to be awesome.
Bigger hands than old small hands that we're about to talk about.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett.
So there is a bunch of reports that came out over the course of the week, or I guess just yesterday.
8.5.
Of Tom Pelissero reporting these different things that scouts and GMs and I guess just one coordinator, and then the rest were scouts. So they're a little bit contradicting. The latest one to come out, so the most recent news was that a panel of 17 scouts voted Kenny Pickett as their top quarterback this year. Let's go. And then before that, an NFC scout told Tom Pelissero that Kenny Pickett lacks the physical traits to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. So the complete opposite end of the spectrum there. And then I also saw someone posted in the Dynasty Theory Discord that an NFL GM, I think, was quoted as saying Kenny Pickett is like the most ready, but it was the exact quote was like, if you want an MFer that's ready right now, it's Kenny Pickett, but there's no goddamn upside. That was like the quote. It's like, what?
A quote in a bar somewhere where they're just drinking after work and.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to think of it. So then I just also I want to lay this out. A little bit of Malik Willis thrown in here. They said that some random NFC coordinator said Malik Willis is a better prospect than Trey Lance or Justin Fields, and obviously that's subjective, and I don't necessarily agree with that. But we'll touch on that. What do you guys think of these Kenny Pickett reports?
I think he's going 6th overall to the Panthers. I think that's probably right, and I think it'll be a bad landing spot. I think he probably doesn't get a second contract.
That's a very brief stab at me.
All these quarterbacks that people don't like, whether it's Mac Jones or Josh Allen or Deshaun Watson, apparently couldn't throw the ball with a good amount of speed. Usually pass on those guys and they'll fall. And I'll take a shot on Kenny Pickett probably in one of my 15 leagues that I have, 1 or 2 shots somewhere. Just so I don't miss out. I won't have too many shares, but I'll take a shot, just see what happens. But I'm not overly optimistic for him.
I'm gonna be bold here and say that I'm getting Justin Herbert vibes off of Kenny Pickett, not necessarily matching the talent. I'm saying I think he's gonna be undervalued, like how Herbert was undervalued coming out. People were all about Burrow,
right. I think he's undervalued enough to where people pass on him, and you'll be able to take a couple shots and just see what happens. So I don't know about Herbert, but
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not saying like necessarily. I think that he could, get close to that type of talent, though. I mean, and he has the size too. Like people are ragging on his hands, but he's 6'3", 220. He's going to be able to see over the line. And I was rewatching him yesterday. Honestly, he has some straight up Brett Favre zip on his ball, dude. Like
Oh
he
man,
can
I like him now.
he can throw. Is he the best decision maker? Not always. And the reason why I bring up Herbert too is because he's somewhat mobile. I mean, he had a rule change happen in the NCAA because he threw the fake slide and then threw the cha-cha and took it to the house.
Okay.
Threw the cha-cha and took it to the
I
house. I
pulled
think
the
that's probably
announcer
the show title.
Ooh, next time
The
we'll have to have a
cha-cha.
video clip of that so we can insert it here in the pod.
The play call on that play was when they did the replay. The I forget who the announcer was, but he was like, Kenny Pickett running. He hit him with the fake slide, then he hits him with the cha-cha, like as he's running.
Ooh, Newts, how is your dancing skills? Can you do the cha-cha?
I don't even know how to do the cha-cha, and they aren't very good. And actually reminded me I need to start practicing.
For your wedding, right?
Yeah, I'll be fine like for normal stuff for my wedding, but I want to do a dance routine to Party Rock Anthem.
Oh
for
yeah, for sure.
my wedding. So I need to get going on that.
I'm gonna need to see some video.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I will post it for sure. It's gonna be on video.
The Newt's dance channel.
But as far as Kenny Pickett goes, Matt Corral, what do you think of Matt Corral? Because I'm not sure. I think a lot of people are down on him just because of that injury. But do you think if Matt Corral never got injured, do you think he would be above Pickett? Or
I was kind of waiting to see if Payson wanted to go there, so that's why there was
I'll
a
go.
slight pause. But
Yeah, I was like, "Are you going? Are you talking? Who's talking?
yeah,
you talking? I'm
next
talking.
time if we do another 3-way, I will.
whoa, dude!
I will do better at throwing it to John Bauer on Dynasty Theory does a great job of that. You gotta when you're the host, you gotta throw it to somebody. So
I'm taking it. So Matt Corral is my QB1. I've thought about it. I'd like to, put on the Matt Corral hat as QB1, was QB1, should have always been QB1. I think it's the injury. He hasn't been around. Everybody's kind of forgotten about Matt Corral.
I took him in a pre-NFL draft, rookie draft, late in the first, and I'm pretty happy with it. I just wanted to have a little validation there, so thank you.
Yeah, if you need validation, I'm here. I'm here for that.
Unless it's a guy that I like, then he's gonna get ripped apart.
I will validate Jake. I will not validate Newts.
I think back to when I was scouting AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, and then there are quite a few running backs on Ole Miss that I would be scouting these past couple of years, like Jerrion Ely. I have my eye on Snoop Connor. I think there's somebody else I'm forgetting, and there's this other guy that I think is a 2024 prospect, Henry Parrish. Keep an eye out. There's a deep Devy sleeper for people that like doing that.
Keep an eye out in Noob Gaming here in our Devy draft. Make sure to snipe him.
I forgot that you were in that league, actually. So the one that we did the Debo trade in is like almost the same format as that, except it's super flex, and we drafted the rookies and Devies in the startup. Okay. But anyway, back to Matt Corral. I am scared that he's gonna, a year from now, people are gonna be saying he's got similar problems to Tua, holding the ball too long, fumbling, throwing picks. That I know he's got the traits to get the job done, but I'm just wondering if he's gonna put it all together. I'm unsure. I think he's kind of sloppy, to be honest. And I've watched a decent amount.
So I feel like that is QB's 12 to 24 in Dynasty right now. Kind of sloppy. It's like a second round startup pick.
I mean, you're not wrong, I guess, but I'm not necessarily, unless they're really, really high pedigree, then I am taking them in the second round, like a Fields. And I guess you could say Trevor Lawrence looked somewhat sloppy this last year to start out, at least.
Is Tua still high pedigree? I feel like he was high pedigree.
Pick 3, I believe.
Yeah.
But see, he hasn't, like, I feel like there's a direct correlation to either rushing upside of a quarterback or being the number 1 overall pick or throwing touchdowns. Like, that puts you up into that second round. Maybe not. I don't know. I guess.
As we all know, being the overall number 1 pick at QB doesn't always work out, right?
Yeah.
Was that a Baker shot? You trying to make a Baker shot?
No, I was just making a Baker transition. That's all.
Get out of here.
Segue.
You're trying to get off this rookie talk. We didn't even talk about Malik Willis, really. I guess we've all been talking about Malik Willis a bunch.
Yeah, he's going to be the first QB taken, probably in a rookie super flex, and I think there's a better chance of him working out than not. But what are you going to do? Are you going to take him over Breece Hall anywhere?
No. I mean, and I'll just divulge my plans in training camp to you guys right now.
Yes.
Because you got the first pick and the second pick?
Yeah, I plan on going
Walker,
Hall
Breece.
and Walker with 1 and 2 because 3 and 4 both have 2 QBs on their team.
What if George Pickens goes to the Packers?
I'd probably still wait till like 5 or hope that I can get him at 7 because I have 5 and 7 as well.
You have them all.
But my plan is to take those 2 running backs and then hopefully still get my QB of choice at 5.
Which wide receiver going to the Packers would bump Walker down? Where you'd have to take
maybe, but the only thing for me really that's going to bump Walker down is a bad landing spot for him.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
You know, like if he goes to Seattle or Atlanta or one of those type of places where I feel like he's going to succeed, I'm not going to let the homerism take over. Like, I have plenty of picks in this draft, the next draft. I'll probably get, I mean, if it's Olave, there's no way they're taking him at 3-4. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Senior, you know, Garrett Wilson's going to be somewhere. They're going to want Garrett Wilson. They're going to want London. I just don't see it happening. I'm going to be so mad if the Packers take Drake London. I'm going to be so mad.
I'm going to like it just because you're going to be mad about it. It's funny.
Yeah, I think we're both kind of there.
Gosh, why are you guys even on this podcast?
Do you want to drop out? It can just be Jake and I.
Ooh.
Finally, the good pod.
Anyway,
so Mason, what's your favorite NFL team? Do you not have a specific one?
I haven't really had one for a few years now. My favorite NFL team is the Detroit Lions. So not really a team at the moment. I do like that Matt Stafford finally got away. And so I have my Matt Stafford signed football. I was excited for him in the Super Bowl. I'm glad they won. You know, feels like some validation of him being good.
Right.
And I got my Calvin Johnson jersey. I might have to get a Swift jersey if Swift has like a top 5 fantasy season this year, but top 5 fantasy season.
He's not going to have a top 5 season unless you get a jersey. So
I got to get the jersey first.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I can do that. Just like preemptive support. That's good. Good idea.
Thanks, they're going to surprise. I think that new regime is good for the Lions. I think they're going to do all right.
Yeah, I like the idea of biting kneecaps too. So.
So,
Dudes, what's the last jersey you bought? NFL jersey.
I think the last jersey I bought was a Charles Woodson Super Bowl jersey.
Ooh,
But
nice.
the last jersey I received was for a birthday or Christmas for my parents, a Jordy Nelson Packers jersey.
Solid.
What about you?
Kansas State.
I'm due for a new one. The last jersey I got was Greg Jennings, so that was quite a while ago.
Oh man, a disastrous exit for him.
Yeah,
going to Minnesota.
Him just dragging Rodgers' name through the mud is interesting.
Seems like most do that. So I mean, at a certain point where there's smoke, there's fire. You know,
Right?
The guy's damn good, but
yeah,
I mean, probably annoying to be around at times. But anyway, this other guy that we're about to talk about, he's probably annoying to be around with all the stupid commercials that he was doing when he first came out.
I kind of like the commercials though. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, some of them were funny, but it's just like on Football Sunday, it was like every time there was a commercial, it was a Baker commercial. So we're talking about Baker Mayfield a little bit. I know we've been talking about him on podcasts recently because Payson was in love with him up until this point.
Not
I
in
shouldn't say
love.
that. You were in
I
love
thought
with
he
his
was a
value.
value. I was wrong. The value was a trash can.
So apparently an NFL executive told whoever this guy is, FanSided's Matt Lombardo, that the Seahawks are still very much in the mix for Baker Mayfield. That would be interesting, I think. Like, as much as we rag on Baker, he's not afraid to sling it. So that could be good for Metcalf.
Yeah, I think that's my ideal spot right now. Baker in Seattle, which doesn't feel like Baker then has a much upside because I think they're still going to run the ball a lot, obviously. And I don't think Baker is Russell Wilson by any means. So I'm hoping that Baker can go there, maybe have 1 to 2 good games, and then Payson can diversify his shares away from Baker.
It would be very nice for Lockett and Metcalf shares. That's for sure. I don't know. The Seahawks probably should just throw the season and get a high draft pick next year, but who knows? I've never been able to figure out what that team is trying to do.
That is really what they should do. They shouldn't be trading around away first round picks all the time, which is kind of what they've done first and second. But then you look at their track record of first round picks, and it's not very good either. So I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like it would be just kind of a weird bridge that would keep them in limbo. And Pete Carroll's the oldest head coach in the NFL. Like, why is he? I mean, I guess you probably don't want to rebuild when you're,
Ronnie and I have a nickname for him. He's a peach cobbler.
Oh yeah,
I could see him going to the diner and ordering the peach cobbler. I don't know why that nickname is a thing, but that's what.
Does he put ice cream on top or just regular cream?
Oh man, he probably doesn't do ice cream. That's too hip. That's for the youngsters.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that because I've moved off DK Metcalf a little bit just because I'm unsure of the quarterback, and I only had him in one league where I'm a contender, so I know it was kind of weird to move from DK Metcalf to DJ Moore, but I don't know. Are you guys feeling like DK Metcalf holds value, or do you think that if Baker goes there, his value is gonna sustain? I mean, it's kind of hard to put my finger on what to do with DK Metcalf.
I think the bigger question there to me is, does DK get paid? And I don't know that he gets paid in Seattle. Seattle doesn't want to pay $30 million for a wide receiver. They want to pay $15 million for defensive ends and stuff like that.
I don't know if anybody's going to be willing to sell him cheap either. I would like to buy at a discount right now, but I don't think anybody's going to be willing to do that. So he's kind of in limbo right now until they solidify the quarterback position, which if Baker goes there, I would buy for sure.
Oh, interesting. I thought I didn't realize that not last year, but the year before 2020, DK Metcalf actually had a 1,300-yard season. I was about to say uninformatively, if that's a proper use of the word.
No,
that
not a word.
It can be. We can make it a
now.
thing.
I was about to say DK Metcalf's never topped 1,000 yards, so I don't think he's going to get that top dollar. But obviously, like in negotiations, he would probably be like, "Listen, we're not dumb here. Like, you guys know the upside of me. Like that's like me talking about my dynasty like skills. Like we're not. Come on, guys. I'm rebuilding right now, but anyway, yeah, I don't know. I've never been on Baker really that hard. I was feeling left out after his rookie season, but now I'm just kind of happy I avoided. But I didn't avoid the hits that year because I was taking Josh Rosen at like 109, 110, and that was a throwaway.
Sometimes, not very often, but sometimes a change of scenery can be exactly what they need. So it's possible he could resurrect his career for sure. Carson Wentz is going to change a couple more times scenery until he figures it out.
Yeah, this team will be the team.
I just caught something though. Does Payson not like Devontae Parker, or does he just really, really like Brandon Cooks?
I guess it's not like Devontae Parker. Did I sell too low on Devontae Parker? I pictured him
think
as
he's
like
kind
a
of sneaky. Maybe because I was a truther like a long time ago, but I think he's going to be sneaky on the Patriots there.
I kind of thought of him as just like a throw in. Originally, there was Van Jefferson there, who I also have available if anybody's interested. But I had Van Jefferson. He switched out Van Jefferson for Parker, and I was like, okay, fine.
I've
And
been
part of that
trying
is
to,
also just I'm trying to consolidate. So in that league, I had I don't know 17 draft picks.
probably
So-
what it takes to get Cooks because I've been trying to get him on the cheap and I just haven't been able to get a deal done.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I also
I
have
think
now
that was a good
available.
trade. Yeah, that was a
So-
good trade.
You want to?
Everything's available on Faison's team.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what pick the Patriots have in the first round because if you think about it, someone mentioned this to me yesterday. Pick 21 they have in the first round. What they clearly have the defense somewhat established already, and then they got their quarterback, and they have a slew of pretty good running backs. I mean,
They have a
is it?
solid tight end room. Yeah.
Yeah, that too. Good point. Is it like crazy to think that they might go Jameson Williams at pick 21, kind of shooting Parker's value, and then in the second or third round come back around and get Mechie and have a full-on Alabama offense?
I want them to get Treylon Burks just so he can line up next to N'Keal Harry, and we can see what the difference is.
Oh, by lineup, you mean sit on the bench together?
Yeah, sit on the bench together to see how similar they look or during practice.
They're like measuring each other's height. They're like, hey, look.
Yeah. They could be twins if you put them right next to each other. I don't know.
N'Keal Harry, he should convert to tight end, maybe like this other guy that we're about to.
I can't
talk
believe you
about.
even put this on here. This is gross.
Yeah, it is pretty gross, but we play in a lot of 2 tight end leagues, and JJ Arthega Whiteside, when he was coming out, jump ball guy, like typical, doesn't make it in the NFL. These last couple of years, all these jump ball guys busting. Clearly a bust at wide receiver for the Eagles. I think he was a second-round pick in the NFL draft. I liked him coming out, but I guess when it gets to this point with players like N'Keal Harry, JJ, Jalen Reagor, it's like the ultimate question is, do they have the work ethic? Like, do they? That's what it comes to at this point. So JJ Arthega-Whiteside's converting to tight end for the Eagles, and obviously they have Dallas Goedert. So like maybe when they had Goddard and Ertz, they were running a lot of 2 tight end sets. I mean, maybe he succeeds a little bit more with the underneath routes and playing in the slot a little bit more. I don't know. I mean, it seemed like his problem was drops before this. The only reason I bring it up is because of 2 tight end leagues. Are you interested at all?
No.
Pass.
Here, I'll help you guys out.
And I am desperate for tight end in a couple of those leagues. I think still. No, I wouldn't. I don't even want to waste a roster spot. That's not interested.
So the Eagles have continued to try and do this. Like they did this with Hakeem Butler too. Hakeem Bustler.
Oh yeah,
also known as Hakeem
Bustler.
Yeah.
Was Matthews? Did he try tight end on that team too?
Could have been.
That's a good question.
Jordan Matthews. He was quite smaller than these guys, though. Quite a bit smaller. I wish I had written down some like pivots in here. So like J-Jaw or Ian Thomas. Probably taking a shot on Thomas.
Oh, J-Jaw, yeah, for sure.
Ian Thomas.
Wait, what? You said the
Ian Thomas.
Ian Thomas is gone, dude. He's done. He's gone.
Ian Thomas.
I'm gonna have to agree
with
Pace.
I know that's your boy.
I have now seen 2 trades in a matter of 5 days for Tommy Tremble. Like I don't know what we're doing. Tommy Tremble is not going to light the world on fire. Whatever his name is.
Who's in front of Tommy Tremble? What?
It's just Tommy Tremble, I think. Oh, he's gone.
Back to the normal gem drafter.
All right. Well, that guy's gone.
I'll invite him back real quick. But oh, here he is. He's got it.
I hit the back button.
Hold the old dip out. So J-Jaw or Chris Herndon?
Chris Herndon.
Yeah, so basically
But actually, both
a
can
non-starter.
just go back to the waiver wire.
Oh,
Like, could you get a fourth round rookie pick? Probably not. So whatever.
Oh yeah, no.
is it because Tommy Tremble is behind Ian Thomas? That's why everybody's on him.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, that makes more sense now.
Oh, Tommy Tremble, 40 targets incoming.
So I am curious what you guys thought of my big old trade I made in the Heroes and Villains League, 14 team Superflex, staggered PPR, half point, full point for wide receiver, 1.5 for tight end, where I acquired Lamar Jackson, Devontae Adams, and the 212, and I sent away Aaron Rodgers, Mike Williams, Nicholas Chubb, and TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, you basically just gave away a whole team.
Wow. One thing I've noticed is you're not afraid to pay for what you want, which is nice. It's refreshing. But I think you gave up a little bit much on that one. But and I also think it's interesting because you had so much Lamar Jackson back in the day when he was a rookie and sophomore, and then you sold high, so you got a really good value. But now you're coming back, obviously you believe in him.
He's nostalgic. He just wants to remember what childhood was like.
Well, I mean, 20 minutes after this podcast is over, Lamar Jackson might not be on the squad anymore. So
that's a classic Nick statement.
TJ Hawkinson, I guess, I don't know. I think people are really high on him, and he's going to have a really good season to validate what people are valuing him at. I think he's going to do good. Nick Chubb is excellent. I think it's just plug and play. So I would prefer the Nick Chubb Hawkinson side, but Lamar Jackson could very easily play for another 5, 6, 7 years, and Aaron Rodgers might be done after another 1 or 2. So maybe it's a good way to get off of Rodgers.
Who plays longer, Devontae Adams or Aaron Rodgers?
It's about the same.
Devontae Adams, I think, probably.
Yeah. How many firsts? That's what I like to kind of convert these to. So, like, Adams is a mid first, or if it's 2 first, it's like later first.
I'd say
Lamar
1.
Jackson
5.
1.5. All right, 1.5. Lamar Jackson 3 firsts or 4? Probably 3.
3.5.
Let's go 2.5.
Oh, okay. So we'll meet in the middle at 3. So 3, 4, 4.5, plus a second. Call it another half. So it's like 5 firsts.
I'd rather have
versus
5 firsts.
Rodgers. Rodgers is still 2, right?
2, yeah, 2. I see. In my argument will come in here that I had this argument with TJ just yesterday, I believe. He was trying to send me Mike Williams for 109 in Newts McBoots League, and he's like, KTC has him, a mid to late 22 first, and I understand the upside, but like I just can't do that for a guy that's 27, didn't like break out young like how some of these other wide receivers do. Can't do it.
Yeah.
So I don't think Mike Williams is technically worth a first.
Yeah, I think people view Mike Williams as like the heir apparent to Keenan Allen, but he's not. It's Josh Palmer.
Where do the Chargers pick at in the first round? Are they going to take a receiver?
They already have one. His name is Josh Palmer. He's elite.
They're taking Mechie. Not in the first, though. 17.
All right, we got distracted. Aaron
17.
Rodgers, 2 firsts. Mike Williams, 1 first. Nick Chubb, 1 first or 2 firsts? 1.5?
I'd say 1.5.
1.5. All right, so we're at 3, 4, 4.5. And then TJ Hawkinson, this is 2 tight end?
Probably 2.
2 tight end and tight end premium?
I would take him over Rodgers.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. So 2. So I think we just totaled that up, and it's more on that side.
But not by
so you're at 4, 5, 6, 6.5 or 7 versus 5.
So nothing is ever in a vacuum, obviously. So the context behind this was that I had good depth. So
what were you going after, though? You were going after Lamar, right? Specifically?
I was specifically actually going after Adams, but he was like too high on Adams. Like he wanted 102 straight up for Adams, so I kind of tried to work some other sort of thing where like I was pretty heavy on running back, having Javante, Barkley, Chubb, David Montgomery, and Elijah Mitchell, and a 102, which is probably going to be a running back. So I was like, I'm willing to give up one of these running backs. How about let's give up the oldest one on my team? Unfortunately, probably one of my favorite players in the NFL, to then give me, an upgrade at wide receiver from Mike Williams to Devontae Adams, and then I already have Mark Andrews that I recently acquired, so I'm okay.
And it's a start one tight end.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're in this league,
Oh,
man.
Which one is it?
Heroes and villains.
Yeah,
I know that's.
I was thinking it was 2. I was talking about it
How do
being
you have
2,
all
and
those
then
running
Nudes
backs?
didn't
That's
correct
amazing.
me.
It's because I'm the trade master.
No wonder you like this league so much.
he
It's
cheated.
ridiculous.
Yeah. We've got to band together and make sure that his team gets worse somehow.
Yeah, I suppose since you're the upper 1% in this league, you can just give away stuff to get what you want. It's
Yeah.
fair
So we
enough.
don't have to dwell, but one last point I wanted to make was why I started to target Jackson and Adams from him is because I had Carr and Andrews. So now I have 2 double bubbles on this team.
double bubble.
Double bubble. So big touchdown upside. I'm trying to take home that back-to-back pot this year.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, your team is actually starting to look really interesting in that league, Jake.
I should have hung on to Akers longer, but that's okay.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of Payson and I talked about that on the last Saturday episode where you and I kind of had a disconnect. Like I sent a lower offer than what you wanted, and then like TJ just kind of swooped in, and I probably should have messaged you and said, "Oh, TJ asked me what I want for what I would pay for Akers," but I don't know why I was just kind of out of it. But anyway,
But I am going to have Breece Hall and Bijan Robinson on that team together.
yeah, so it's gonna come together. It's gonna be beautiful.
Are you locked into the 101 next year?
Oh yeah, for sure.
He'll make it. He'll make it happen. He's not messing around. I mean, I'm gonna.
Is this my first ever orphan? That I think this might be the only. No, I've had another orphan. Okay.
It was really bad too. Like I remember you saying, like, I don't know if I can do this, man.
Yeah, it was. It was one of those things where it's going to be 3 or 4 years of building it before you can do anything. So,
like, I had to. I actually paid for one of your entry fees because you were just like, this team, like it's an expensive league. It's $100 league, and I value you as a owner in the league, and it was just so terrible. Like the future picks were gone for 22 because you took it over in 20, I believe, going into 21. But anyway,
I sold Cooper Kupp for like a first and a second, or like a first and something.
Yeah, but I mean, you're still in really good shape here. 101, 104, 109, 201. You got
I got a 101 next year and 112 next year, it looks like.
Yeah, I was gonna say
101 and 102.
Yeah, no, peanut butter's gonna be 112.
No, I definitely can't be 112 because this is the best team that I've ever seen, which is Newt's team. So we're all playing for second.
Well, it's 14 teams, so you can.
No, sorry. Yeah, 112, 113, whatever.
All right, I'm gonna bring that back down. Okay, so this next trade was in a 12-team super flex league. I was not involved in this one. I'm actually going to talk about the one below that first, which was involving a player that we all play with in trading camp, Loops. So he's kind of a trade crazy guy. He just loves trading so much that sometimes he gets himself into deep waters here. And so he was on the Deshaun Watson side of this trade. It's a 12-team super flex league, and he gave up Christian McCaffrey, Mac Jones. That's my 23 first, and I have a pretty good team in there, so it's probably going to be like last year I lost in the first round of the playoffs, but I upgraded my team significantly this year, so it's probably a 108 to 112 type pick. And then I don't know exactly the details of that second and fourth, but do you guys think that's a lot to go get Deshaun Watson, Marlon Mack, and Michael Carter?
So you think that first is going to be late?
I would say I'm hoping for it to be 112 because I want to win the league. I mean, I'll pull up my team for you guys so you can get some context behind that pick. And I'll pull up Loop's team as well.
It looks like it's Christian McCaffrey and Mac Jones for Deshaun Watson. That's what I'm seeing. Well, the first has a lot of value too.
So my team is, I know you hate Russell Wilson, Jake, but I have Russell Wilson and Tua. So you hate both of my quarterbacks.
I don't hate Wilson anymore.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Now that he's on a different team and away from Peach Cobbler.
I remember that I think it was like 2019 or something. You and I were playing in the or like the first round of the playoffs, and like all you needed was like 10 points from Russell Wilson.
Oh,
and he
you're right.
scored
You're right. I do hate Russell Wilson.
Bad. You were like, I'm done with this guy. Get him off my team. But anyway, so that's my team. I have Debo, DJ Moore, Amari, Mark Andrews. So I'm hoping it's a late first, and then I will pull up Loop's team for you guys. His team name is that. I kind of want to try to keep it clean, but
that's not PG here.
Yeah, we're late enough in the podcast here. There's no kids listening to this. So
no.
His only running backs are Mixon and Carter, and then he's got some win now pieces, but I would have rolled with Mac Jones, man, personally, and kept McCaffrey.
Mike, like you guys said earlier, Michael Carter might be the lead back, or he could very easily become a backup.
Yeah, like there's not a lot of draft capital behind him. He's a risky asset to hold right now.
I think Marlon Mack is interesting. He literally costs nothing, and he could make a comeback, I think.
Yeah, I think that 23 fourth is pretty much Marlon Mack. That's like a equivalent deal right now.
Right.
Gabe Davis needs to hope that he dodges the NFL draft. Because if they go first round wide receiver, I don't think Gabe Davis is shot, but he's definitely not going to get like the opportunity that you want.
They have Crowder and Diggs and Davis. I think they're fine. I don't see why they would need to do a high draft pick on a wide receiver.
So after that trade went down,
the big thing to me here is Christian McCaffrey. Like, what's he worth? Like, is he still at the 2 first value? I just paid 2 first not too long ago, and I feel like I might have gotten screwed based on the latest trades.
Yeah, but
I still feel like he is like the best shot at the RB1 season, like the 30 points per game RB1 season. Like, it's possible that somebody else gets like the 22 to 25 range, but he's like the 30 point per game upside.
I would feel better if they had a quarterback, but sometimes that can be good not to have a good quarterback. Maybe he'll just get dump offs all day long. We'll see.
I think his value definitely has to go down after that picture of him in a sports bra came out.
I don't know. That's when you flash it on the screen.
Dude, there's a guy that just takes pictures all day long of those guys practicing, and then they hit that magic shot where they're like, oh, he looks terrible in this picture. I'm going to go sell it for $10,000.
Yeah.
Like the Eddie Lacy one where Eddie Lacy was like turned the wrong way. And then
looking like
everybody realized he actually was 280 pounds.
Oh, man. Eddie Lacy.
He should have converted to tight end. But anyway, then he would have fallen off even quicker. So speaking of Christian McCaffrey value, that guy immediately flipped Christian McCaffrey for 105 and 211.
I'd rather have McCaffrey for sure.
Seems light, yeah.
Yeah. I paid 105 and 111.
Would you rather have McCaffrey or 101?
101.
McCaffrey.
Where's the line?
Come on.
Where's your line? No, where's your line, though, is what I'm trying to...
I'm super low on McCaffrey, so don't ask me.
So 103 then?
No. He's like not a first round pick.
No, that's not true because I'm not an idiot. I know that I could get first round picks from people, so I would probably like shuffle.
You'd rather have Breece Hall. You'd rather have Kenneth Walker. Would you rather
have Isaiah Spiller?
I don't know. I think I'd rather go McCaffrey. After Walker.
Going on 26 on the 7th of June. I know that's not old, but like, man, just the injuries. I know the upside's there, but like, I'd rather have Dobbins than McCaffrey. Like, I'd rather take a shot on Dobbins, Antonio Gibson, Cam Akers, David Montgomery. Like, I'm just scared, man. I'm just scared of McCaffrey. I'm not saying I'm not willing to like acquire him and then like flip him, but like I'm not holding him. I'm just not. It's just I've been that way for a while now. I'm
You're
not
getting the
gonna
Todd
change.
Gurley vibes.
Yeah, but not. I guess, yeah. I mean, it's not the same because it's not the knee, but like, I don't know, man. It's just like the last 2 years, just been going down. Meet me at the mall.
Would you rather have Barkley or McCaffrey?
Barkley all day. I have Barkley up at like 7.
So dumb. That's so
What's
wrong.
the difference? What's the difference between those two?
I think I value the weight of Barkley. Like, I think that his
The
frame
weight?
is going
The weight?
He's
to,
got more of a Eddie Lacy type figure.
yeah,
There we go.
really putting the screws to me, Jake, on this Christian McCaffrey take. But
I
They're
don't know.
both-
I don't own any McCaffrey. I feel like I'd like to, but
Well, at this price, I think you can now. So
Yeah.
go ahead. Unfortunately, I own him everywhere because I thought people were low before, but people just keep getting lower. So
ooh, maybe we can get a deal done here.
I'm willing to admit that my not Barkley. Well, okay, so I could stay.
your Barkley
say the
pick is
same that way.
wrong, and
No,
your Christian McCaffrey
Yeah,
pick
you-
is wrong.
Double wrong,
Not
Jake.
wrong, but I can see why people would think it's irrational for me to love Barkley but not love Christian McCaffrey. That's what I wanted to say.
I can't do the Barkley. I know a lot of people are in on Barkley for one more ride here, but I got out last year. I'm fine with missing on that if I have to.
I recently watched the Week 17 Giants game against the Bears from last year, and I thought he was starting to look all right at that point. And like I said about the weight thing, I just feel like that's goes to sustainability of a running back. Like Barkley was 233 when he came out, McCaffrey 205. Like that's just I don't know, man. Something about those 200-pound running backs just bothers me big time. So yeah, I mean that's all I got. Unless you guys got some trades that you wanted to
So
talk
Derrick
about
Henry's only 14 pounds bigger.
than Barkley.
Yeah.
I actually acquired Henry recently in that one league. So
Derrick
I hope-
Henry or Christian McCaffrey?
I mean,
They're both going to put up 30 points a game, right?
Yeah.
the difference there is Derrick Henry's 28. So I would go McCaffrey there based on age.
DeMarco Murray took all the beating for the first couple of years, though. So
Yeah.
Derrick Henry will play till he's 40, like Frank Gore.
If Derrick Henry plays till he's 40,
Yeah.
oh god,
Still be trucking people.
Would you rather have
he's like running like a 4.9 or a 5.1, and he's still just trucking people.
Yeah. Dragging people into the end zone.
would you rather have Kamara or McCaffrey?
Oh, McCaffrey. for
McCaffrey.
sure.
What are we talking about? God.
How about
What? What happened to you, Newts?
I didn't say I would rather have Kamara. I'm just
Oh, okay.
asking
Okay.
thought-provoking questions.
Just asking questions. Just asking questions.
Josh Jacobs or Derrick Henry?
Henry.
Henry.
But Jacobs, I'll take off Jacobs all day on every team.
Jacobs makes
He
me
gets
angry.
He gets so much hate, and
What-
he has such a good production profile. And
What's he worth?
What?
Is he a mid first?
I want to say yeah, but I want to say I don't like him because of that one time when he said he was not playing, and then he said like hashtag fuck your fantasy or whatever. He
Yeah.
played, so everyone benched him, and then it's like, dude, come on, why you got to do that to us? I literally downgrade him in my dynasty rankings. for
I
that
can't
reason
imagine what these players get in their DMs though from just how fantasy players
Idiots.
can be, just like death threats and
There you go.
alone.
so
That's
I
our
don't- I
motto
don't-
for today. Don't tag players. Like, don't do
Yeah.
it. It's not worth it. There's no reason. We're playing a game about a game.
But Josh Jacobs, I'll take him on every team. He's
What do
just
you
gonna produce.
Just real quick, I have a trade offer out that's probably light. I want to know how light it is to you guys. I'm trying to get Jamar Chase for DJ Moore and a mid to high possible 23 first.
You're
Okay.
short by at least a first.
Dang it. I'm just gonna. I don't have another first. I would if I had another first. I would totally give it up.
I'm willing to give you this extra first that I don't have.
I shouldn't have
So
traded.
you're trying to get Chase, or you're going for more, right?
No, I was going for Chase because I have good depth in that league. But I
Okay.
made the mistake of trading what I hope is my late 23 first for Juju. Sign with the Chiefs.
We'll trade Juju, DJ Moore, and the first.
Yeah, that's a possibility. That would make my wide receivers Debo, Chase, Cooper. But then that puts my fourth wide receiver as Michael Thomas, which is kind of scary. I think I'm just going to stand pat. Don't need to buy Jamar Chase. I sold Jamar Chase in every single league. I probably sold light in a couple.
I can't believe how many Jamar Chase and Jonathan Taylors you sold this last year and a half.
It's just my MO. When a skill position
Yeah.
player gets up in the first round, just take that depth, break it down. Seems to be working for me a little bit. I mean, I would say the last 2 years I haven't done as well as the one before that, but that was because I had way more leagues. When you start adding, how many leagues are you in, Payson?
Is my wife listening?
You tell me. She's outside the door.
18? I think I might be at 18 now. I just joined some safe leagues because it was only the $7.95 or something like that to join safe leagues right now. So go get your orphans, safeleagues.com.
The lack of depth in safe leagues, though, I need a little bit of a bigger roster size to work with. But that's just me. But.
Don't tell Scott Fish, but I'm probably going to treat those like redrafts.
I actually did. I'm still in one because I traded away my future first. It's a best ball, and I'm actually trying to get rid of Jonathan Taylor and Justin Jefferson on that team for some more depth. But I ended up trading away. I had Herbert, and I traded him for Tua, Juju, 105 and 207 because I'm just I'm gonna leave this. I feel bad saying this, but I want to be all sleeper, so I'm not ruining this team. It still has really good young assets, but if I can get more depth in a best ball, and I just feel like
it feels so good this year just to have all sleeper, and it would probably feel just fine to have all MFL. Either way, it's just nice to have it all in one spot. It makes it easier.
I think MFL raised their rates this year, but didn't upgrade the website at all.
Well, they haven't upgraded that thing in 15 years.
Yeah, so that's the part that pisses me off. You're siphoning off $70-ish in league funds every year, and you aren't making any updates to your website. There are so many leagues. What are we doing?
I think they could retain more people if they drop the fee, right?
What are you doing with that money besides just vacationing?
There's just diehard dynasty fantasy people that have been using that for years, and that's all they'll ever want to do. So they'll probably be okay, but we'll see.
All right. So we're at about an hour and 10 minutes. I got a busy day ahead of me, so I think I'm going to
busy day of dancing.
Yeah, that, and it's my fiance's bridal shower today, and I got to deliver some cupcakes to the bridal shower. Then
don't eat any.
When's the bachelor party?
Then I'm going to a grill out. I don't know. I am hoping somebody. I mean,
I'm not planning anything.
I don't exactly have a best man. Because Becky doesn't have a maid of honor, so I didn't name anyone my best man. So I mean, it's whatever. I'm not gonna really care if they don't do a bachelor party. It's no big deal, and I'm not gonna be like. Don't you think it's kind of trashy to be like, passive aggressive? Be like, text the group, be like, "Oh yeah, I don't need a bachelor party, guys. Like, I'm just not gonna say anything, you know."
Yeah.
Don't
Is
worry,
what-
me and Payson will show up under your door and kidnap you. And
This
show
is
you
my
a good time.
bachelor party.
Throw you in the van, the black
Right
van.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah. I did not have a bachelor party myself. So, yeah.
It's
Well, then,
whatever.
hey, we can have a makeup one for you too.
Gem Drafter gone wild.
The OnlyFans version.
There you go.
Oh, that will be available on the Patreon once that gets going, exclusive. So anyway, I'm gonna shut this down here for me, Newts, for Payson Burnett, for Jake, aka Super Packers. Thank you guys for listening, and we are out.
See you, boys.